Boosie, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow motherfucker. Long hair.
I ain't really got no opinion on him. Cause my opinion can send me to prison.
You slapped Kanye West, that's what he was wrong at home.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black.
The beef between Boosie and Charleston White didn't blow up out of nowhere. It was a pressure cooker ready to pop, the exact kind of wildfire the internet eat for breakfast. Ain't nobody checking for him. Folks treat Boosie like he's a villain, like he's some kind of murderer, when the truth is different. Boosie ain't no mother killer. You could slap Boosie and nothing happens. Slap Lil Boosie and that ain't changing a thing. Lil Marlo was the one who pulled the trigger. Lil Boosie never went toe-to-toe with nobody. Even if you sock him in the face, people act like that'll end him because it's diabetic. Like a black eye equals death. That ain't how it works. Charleston built his whole hustle on riling people up. Pick a target, trash him, bait the response, and buffet off the fallout. That's his formula every time. Find someone, clown them, and let the chaos fuel the brand.
Your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow motherfucker. Long hair freak. That little don't know how to fight either. Get them y'all baby this rapper.
He'd been running at rappers, activists, athletes, anybody willing to bite. But when he pulled Boosie into his circus, he picked the wrong target. Boosie ain't the type to sit quiet when folks threaten his people, especially his blood. Jail, it's gonna be for something. I don't play no police game. Man. Just know how you move. Man. Life real. Bro, this ain't no joke. This ain't no game. Don't play with me and don't play with mine. Leave my mother and my children out your __ face, boy. At first, Charleston kept it as light as he ever does. Jokes, jabs at Boosie being washed up, the usual career poke, pretending it's nothing but troll energy. Somebody even shouted, "Your son, who got your son arrested?" And the reaction came hot. Who? I don't __ with Charleston White. That __ LL pressure me. I'm keeping that name out my mouth. The talk turned into threats, then back into fear. Charles White can get your ass locked up. And the chatter changed tone. Charleston ain't satisfied till he finds the sore spot, the pressure point that makes the whole timeline gasp. He found it when he aimed at Boosie's son, Tootsie Roll. That strike flipped the script. The culture stopped scrolling and said, "Hold up, this ain't trolling no more." What started like light jabs turned lethal the moment family got dragged into the mud, and now everybody's watching to see who blinks first. Charleston started bragging about trying to get Tootie locked up, laughing like it was a game. But everybody knows, Boosie don't duck smoke when it's about his kids. For a minute, Boosie stayed calm. He didn't hop online screaming back and forth, didn't give Charleston the reaction he was begging for. But the more Charleston doubled down, the more he kept throwing Tootie's name around, the thicker the tension got.
I ain't really got no opinion on him, cause my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really got no opinion. Once you go to threaten people's kids, I ain't the one gonna do all that. Certain people, you can't really express opinion.
Finally, Boosie stepped in front of the camera and dropped a warning you couldn't mistake. No yelling, no wild threats, just cold words that landed heavy. Folks were watching his energy, saying he looked low, trying to read between the lines. "Judge cool," Boosie muttered, but the streets knew what that meant, playing it safe because eyes were on him. Same way others had to yes sir the judge, even while carrying a record too heavy to run from. Boosie's not walking into court on a cakewalk, and everybody knows it. He's facing real weight, real danger, no matter his name. That's why when he said, "Don't ever come for my kids, don't drag my family into your circus," the whole room shifted. That moment wasn't trolling anymore. It was bloodline business. The internet exploded, clips everywhere, fans cheering, saying that's exactly how a father is supposed to handle it. Some folks worried Charleston was baiting Boosie into a trap. But no matter where you stood, everyone knew Charleston had crossed a dangerous line. And the crazy part? The roots of this whole firestorm trace back to Kanye West. When Kanye popped out in that White Lives Matter shirt, the culture exploded. People split down the middle. Some defended him, others tore him apart. Boosie was one of the loudest voices calling Kanye out, saying he was clowning the movement and disrespecting black people. That's when Charleston saw his chance. Instead of standing with Boosie, he flipped the whole script, mocking him for daring to criticize Kanye. He told the world Boosie wasn't the one to speak up, painted him as a hypocrite desperate for attention. From that moment, Charleston had a new obsession. Anytime Kanye made headlines, he dragged Boosie's name into it, tying them together like some toxic duo. And when the internet kept eating it up, Charleston cranked the trolling into overdrive. After firing shots at Tutti, Charleston widened his scope and aimed at another rap legacy kid, King Harris.
Just slap Kanye West, that's where he was wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people. The little kid got life without parole. Why would he slap Kanye West, a man with biracial white children, embracing the concept and the notion that black and white lives?
T.I.'s son. He clowned King's hair, his style, called him spoiled, soft, pretending to be street while growing up rich. Even went as far as predicting jail time for him. That wasn't trolling anymore. That was straight disrespect. King jumped on IG Live, firing back, letting Charleston know face-to-face energy would be different. And just like Boosie, Tip wasn't about to let it slide. T.I. stepped in, saying loud and clear nobody was going to play with his son's name. Suddenly, it wasn't just Charleston vs. Boosie. It was Charleston vs. two rap legends, both fathers standing on principle. Their sons clapped back, the internet lit up, and Charleston sat in the middle, grinning like he hit the jackpot. The wildest part? Nobody could look away. Every clip of Charleston talking reckless went viral. Every response from Boosie or T.I. spread like wildfire. King's IG Live got replayed thousands of times, fans debating if he could really stand on his words. It was messy, chaotic, like watching a slow M. And by tying Kanye's moment to Boosie's name, Charleston built a cycle. Every time Kanye grabbed headlines, Charleston dragged Boosie right back into the mix. It was like he crafted a whole strategy around making Boosie look like the hypocrite critic. But once Charleston shifted from Kanye to Boosie's son, the game changed. Then, pulling King Harris into it pushed the drama into an even wilder stratosphere. King is young, proud, and fiery, the type who's never going to sit silent when somebody mocks him. He fired back raw, letting Charleston know this wasn't just trolling anymore. With T.I. stepping in behind him, the feud morphed into a generational clash. Charleston positioned himself as the one mocking spoiled rap kids while fathers and sons stood together saying family comes first. That dynamic turned the internet upside down. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. It became fathers versus a troll, legacies versus disrespect, and the culture versus chaos. Charleston's antics gave him the clicks, but the responses gave the story its weight. Boosie's warning spread like wildfire not because it's Boosie, but because it touched something deeper, fatherhood, pride, loyalty. Same with T.I. stepping up for King. It wasn't for clout, it was about respect. But Charleston isn't clueless. He knows exactly what he's doing. He laughs it off, claims rappers can't touch him because it's protected, and keeps stoking the flames. To him, it's a win-win. If they respond, he gets attention. If they stay silent, he calls it a victory. That's why he never stops pushing buttons. He believes is untouchable. Here's the thing, though. Once you drag a man's kids, you step outside the world of clout and into the world of honor. And Boosie and T.I. aren't men who gamble with honor. That's why the internet stayed split. Some said Charleston was just chasing clout. Others said he'd crossed a sacred line. Either way, the debates got bigger than the beef. People started talking about what it means to be a father, to defend family, and whether Charleston trolling is even safe anymore. Because at the end of the day, Charleston's strategy depends on the internet being just talk. But Boosie and T.I. come from places where talk can flip into action real quick. And then there's the sons, Tutti Raw and King Harris, clapping back in real time. King especially put himself in the fire, confronting Charleston directly, showing he's not ducking smoke. Some fans respected him for it. Others thought he gave Charleston exactly what he wanted. Either way, King's move pulled him into the spotlight, making him just as central to the drama. That's what makes this saga so magnetic. It's got layers. Hip-hop beef, family pride, trolling, generational clashes, and Kanye's shadow always lurking in the background. Every layer poured gas on the fire, making it burn hotter. Charleston might laugh it all off, but the weight underneath keeps getting heavier. And sooner or later, the question becomes, how long before talk turns into action? Growing tension turned the vibe from playful trolling to dangerous disrespect, and the culture could feel it. Boosie and T.I. aren't men you toy with, especially not when their kids are in the crosshairs. The question stopped being if Charleston would keep talking and turned into when someone would decide enough was enough. As the drama snowballed, Charleston just kept laughing, doubling down, daring Boosie, daring Tip, daring anyone to react so he could flip it into victimhood. It was a bait-and-switch game, and Charleston thrived on it. But for fans watching, it wasn't entertainment anymore. It felt like a powder keg ready to blow. Boosie's shift was obvious. His silence turned into a father's warning once Tootie's name got dragged too many times. His words hit heavy, simple, clear, and deadly serious. Don't talk about my kids. That moment shook the internet because it reminded everyone of an unspoken rule. You can clown a man's music, his money, his career, but family is a line you don't cross. T.I. drove that same message home when he stepped in for King Harris. This wasn't about rap image or headlines. It was about fatherhood. Protecting his son wasn't negotiable. And that move earned major respect, because it showed the world that when it comes to family, rappers are fathers first, entertainers second. Once that armor is on, lines get drawn, and consequences always follow. Charleston's trolling had now poked at pride, honor, and blood, 3 things you never play with. Meanwhile, the Sons weren't just bystanders. King Harris confronted Charleston head-on with an IG live that lit up the internet. Fans replayed it like a heavyweight fight, some calling him reckless, others saluting him for standing tall. Tootie Raw's name alone was enough for Boosie to unleash his warning. Together, the Sons became proof of how deep Charleston's disrespect had gone. They turned this feud from trolling into generational war. And here's the reality. Charleston lives off attention, but attention has limits. The energy shifted. People went from laughing to uncomfortable to worried, because everyone knows, in the streets, when you disrespect family, words don't stay words forever. Charleston can laugh, brag, and claim safety, but Boosie and T.I. already made it clear. This isn't a game. Fans online see the writing on the wall. It's no longer clout chasing. It's a ticking clock. Every new video Charleston drops, every laugh, every mock aimed at King or Tootie, piles up. The culture is on edge, waiting to see who says enough. Will Boosie and Charleston cross paths? Will Tip step in again? Or will King Harris turn his IG threats into action? Nobody knows, but everybody's watching. What makes this story so wild is that it all snowballed from one shirt Kanye wore. From that moment to Boosie's criticism, to Charleston's trolling, to family names being dragged into the fire, it became a cultural moment too big to ignore. And that's why it won't fade away. Too many lines crossed. Too much pride at stake. Too much family honor tied up in it. This isn't just Charleston trolling rappers. It's a test of respect, of fatherhood, of how far men go when family gets disrespected. Boosie made that clear. T.I. made that clear. And now the world is waiting to see if Charleston learns that lesson the hard way. So, what do you think? Was Boosie right to send that warning? Did Charleston cross a line no man should touch? And was King Harris smart to clap back, or did he just give Charleston more fuel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Because trust me, this one's not done.